Some memories never fade, some bring a smile, some leave a scar, and some, well, they're the lessons life makes sure you don't forget. They shape you, break you, and rebuild you into someone you never expected to be. Just when I thought I had seen it all, life proved me wrong. If it happened, Mae Barnes lived it, faced it, and survived it. So let's go back. Come, walk with me through the past.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the face shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the famous. I make this every day and I'm impatient. Hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement. The top is so vacant. I don't hear shit.
I sat alone in the small diner, absent-mindedly stirring my coffee, watching the ripples form and disappear. The early morning light slipped through the blinds, casting long, tired shadows across the table. My body felt heavy, my eyes red from another sleepless night, but exhaustion had become an old companion by now. As I glanced up, the door chimed, and in walked Freddie, the one and only person I'd ever dared to call a friend.
What's up, you up early? Are you here by yourself? Where's Chris? Sleeping in?
We had a gig last night, and then we went to the studio and stayed to about 3 in the morning. That's where my night ended.
And Chris?
He couldn't sleep and wanted to keep the night going, so he went out.
So let me get this straight. It was 3 in the morning, and instead of taking his ass home with his lady, he went out. Really?
I didn't say anything. Yeah, I knew the relationship with Chris was a hot mess, but I didn't want to discuss it with Freddie. He would never understand, and I just didn't have the energy to explain or defend my raggedy-ass relationship with Chris. So I ignored him and changed the subject. You got that information on that audition you was telling me about?
Man, they are not trying to pay, so I suggest you don't even worry about it. You're already singing for free. Y'all still haven't gotten paid at that club, have you? How long has it been now? What, over 2 months?
Yeah. The manager says it's our fault for not packing the place, so he claims there's no money to pay us. You sure that audition isn't paying? 'Cause I was really hoping to finally land a gig that actually puts money in my pocket. Catch some kind of break.
Do you really think you're gonna outrun it?
Outrun what?
The curse, the broken promises. Dream too big, you'll find out. It catches up to everyone eventually. Only a few make it, but do they really win? To me, a life of fame only brings more trouble.
Freddie, I am sorry you feel that way. I know things didn't work out for you as an actor, and you decided to give it up. But that will never be me. Giving up my dream is not an option. I don't even allow myself to think that way. Hey, I am super tired, and I'm going home and get some sleep before I have to go back to the club tonight. Let's catch up later this week.
I watched Mae walk away, her anger radiating off her like heat on asphalt. I knew she was pissed, but hell, so was I. Pissed that I couldn't tell her how I really felt. Pissed that she kept letting that fool treat her like she was nothing. And let me tell you, Chris ain't worth a damn. Yeah, I know I'm breaking bro code, but I gotta call it like I see it. Mae keeps setting herself up for heartbreak, and that man is gonna shatter her. And if he doesn't, this industry sure as hell will, because both of them, they ain't ish.
I unlocked the door to my small apartment and stepped inside to silence. I dropped my bag on the table, kicked off my shoes, and glanced toward the empty space where Chris should be. He still hadn't made it home. I didn't need to ask where he was. I already knew. Chris was out being Chris, and we both knew exactly what that meant. I still couldn't sleep. My mind was racing. Restlessly, I reached for my diary. Flipping through the pages, I stopped when I found it. The entry from the last day I was home with my parents. I remember that day like it just happened. The day I finally had enough. The day I stopped waiting for my dreams to find me and decided to go after them, to chase them, to make them mine. I was sitting on the porch steps of my childhood home. My gaze was fixed on the road ahead, but my mind lingered on the weight of my father's words. The night air was thick with humidity, carrying the sweet scent of magnolias and the unspoken tension between them all. From inside, I could hear my mother humming a familiar gospel tune, the same one she used to sing to me as a child. Soft, steady, like a prayer. I knew she was hoping it would still reach me. My father, Arthur Lee, was sitting in his usual chair, Bible in hand, watching me in silence. His expression was firm, unwavering, as if he was waiting for me to turn around, to come to my senses. But I wasn't, not this time. I remember his words like it was yesterday. "Get it out of your head, Mae Barnes. You ain't going to no New York," Arthur Lee said, his voice firm, leaving no room for argument. Then he looked at me, his eyes filled with that same unshakable conviction. "Them folks into that kind of music ain't nothing but devils. I expect you to be up for church in the morning. Now get that nonsense out of your head." Before the sun rose the next morning, I was gone. I ran as far as I could from the only home I ever known, into one that so far had not been kind. I gripped the diary tighter in the present. My eyes scanned over the words I wrote that night before I left. Did I have any regrets? No, I would do it all over again. Because I wasn't going to sit there and let life happen to me. I was going to make it happen, even if it meant leaving everything behind. Freddie says dreams don't last, says there's always something waiting to take them away. But I made a promise to myself that I won't fail, not like the others, not like him. If I got to crawl through the dirt to get there, I will. And if the curse is coming for me, I'll be ready. Morning had already bled into early afternoon, and still, no sign of Chris. Calling or texting was pointless. He wouldn't answer until he felt like it. So all I could do was try to push it out of my mind. But that was easier said than done.
I know I ain't right. I know Mae deserves better than what I give her. But I also know this business, this industry, it ain't for the weak. You gotta fight for every damn inch, and sometimes that means putting yourself first. I ain't proud of it, but I ain't the only one. Everybody in this game is out for themselves, hustling just to survive. It's selfish, yeah, but that's just how it is. Either you make it or you don't, and I damn sure ain't gonna be one of the ones who don't.
Chris, you coming back to bed?
Like I said, you got to put yourself first. So I'm gonna head on back over here to this bed and handle this. She's the personal assistant to one of the hottest artists out today. She said she could get me in for a meeting, let him hear some of my songs. I ain't no fool, though, 'cause people are always making promises they can't keep. But you gotta take a chance, and I'm always willing to do that.
Now you've met all the key players in my story, the ones who shaped my road to trying to make it. You've met the one who tried to hold me back at any cost, not out of spite, but because he knew the price of chasing this dream all too well. And then there's the other, a selfish man I fell so deep in love with that sometimes I felt like I was losing my way. But this is only the beginning. So I invite you to tune in each week. Watch the losses, the failures, the moments that nearly broke me. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant.